Hi, I'm Cheryl, and today I'm going to show you how I made these poppies for this card. This is going to be another two-parter. I'm going to do the poppies in one, and if I have time I'll do the leaves, and then we'll do the card in the next video. So, I'm using from Heartfelt Creations, I'm using the Blazing Poppy, the die, the stamp set, and then their 3D floral shaping, floral basics shaping mold. So I'm going to start out with the die, or with the with the stamps. I'm going to ink that up with Memento Tuxedo black ink. Get that inked up real well. Make sure my centers are good and black. Okay, that's good. Now I'm going to stamp it. I've got a half a sheet of the thick Whisper White cardstock. We just walk our fingers over the top of this, make sure that everything is stamped down real good. And there's one, and we need to do a second one. We're going to need two of the large poppy images, and then two of this size, and then two of the small ones. So if you notice that I've gone off the page a bit here, that's okay, because I don't really need that other little one right there. And I'm going to do this one. And I'll just put my stamp aside and I'll clean that later. Now I like to, I'm going to cut this apart. Into my two separate things, because our die will go on here and it'll just cut all of these pieces on each of these all at one time when we get to that point. So I'm going to use my real red Stampin Up ink. Let me grab a dauber here. I've got my sponge dauber, and I'm just going to add this color around the outside edges. We're going to add the real red all around the edge here. And actually, I'm just going to do the large one. So just to show you how you do this, all sizes will be the same. So we need two of the big ones, two of this size, and two of the small ones. So let me get my other big one here. And I like to put this color down first. It saves a little mess on your table by doing this while it's still attached. And almost done with that. Then we'll be ready to die cut these out. You just take your die, line this up like so. I'm going to use a bit of tape. I'm using my magnetic platform, but I really want to make sure that this does not move. I want it to cut out just perfect on those edges. And this is just standard die cutting. Use whatever plates make you happy, and whatever embossing machine makes you happy. And I've got one set done here. they just all just pop right out. So let me get this die unstuck here, and we'll do our other one. Get our other big one cut out. That's stuck on the tape a little bit. We're not going to use those right this moment. So I would color. So I'm recapping. I prefer to do the color or at least part of the coloring first before I die cut. And here we go. We got our other big one. Let's get all of these out of the way. And off to the side goes with the big shot. Okay, now I can close up my real red. I'm going to get my cherry cobbler and my sponge. And I'm going to darken the edges, just the edges, with the cherry cobbler. Maybe going in just a little bit on the edge. So we'll get all that done. It's a good idea that Heartfelt Creations came up with for doing these flowers. They're like the dimensional flower king or queen of card making. They make these beautiful detailed flower stamps, and then you can die cut them out all at one time. I had the stamps and I was fussy cutting them for the longest time, but my hands just can't take that anymore. So I got the dies to go with my stamps, and I was shaping them by hand too, but now I can just use this mold that they've come out with just recently. So this is the Basics shaping mold. Oh, I need to get my plates out from my big shot here. I don't need the platform. This takes the place of your platform. And these molds have these little legs on them, and they fit in these little corners. I just put my flower in there, and if you want, you can just kind of push it in the mold a little bit like this, just to get it centered in there. That's totally unnecessary. It's just something I like to do. And then we're going to mist this. Got my Stampin Spritzer here. We'll mist that and close the mold up. Unfortunately, I'll have to run this through 2 times because there's only one large mold. And make my sandwich. I have one plate, my mold, put my other plate on top, and I'll run that through my die cutting machine. It's like just like a gigantic embossing folder. And there's my one flower, and you can see how nice that is. It's got the ruffly texture. And we'll do our second one here. Spritz that. And make our sandwich again and run that. And this makes it so easy. Oop. And there's the second cluster for my flower. Put that aside. Let's get these in here. And I do like to do a little shaping. Now, if you want your flowers real crinkly while they're wet like this, you can kind of squeeze them together like this. It is totally unnecessary, though. I'm going to tell you, you really do not have to do any more shaping. You can use them exactly as they come out like this. They're not real dimensional. So I like to take a ball stylus or something else with a rounded end. A Sharpie marker would work just as well. And I like to shape them like this. And that just pops them up some more. Now at this point, they're going to have to sit. We're going to have to put these aside and let these dry. I have some that I made earlier. And I've just been having the best time with these shaping molds. Let's see, do I have another big one? Oh, I don't think I have another big one in that color. Let me do a little smaller size one. So we've got these two bits. These are all dry now. And it's just a matter now of putting some glue. You can use a glue gun. I like a glue gun when I'm feeling adventurous, because I usually burn myself with it. But you just put your two sets of petals together just like this, offset them, and I like to give them a poke down here with the... Oh, where's my pad? I want to poke it on my pad. I just like to poke them down and get that glue just making good contact with the bottom flower. Okay, and there's our poppy ready. So for the card we're going to make later, you want two big ones like this. You don't want any of the size that I just showed you. We want the next size down from that, which is this size. And then we want two of these little bitty ones, the smallest ones. So just two of each of those sizes. Put them back aside here. Now, I wanted a little more to mine, so I have these little pearly things. They're actually made for fingernails to do nail art with. But if you have prills, I'm not mispronouncing that, it's prills, P-R-I-L-L-S, or any other little micro beads. These are like a little micro bead. You can use those. Or you could leave your poppy just as it is. This is pretty just as it is. But just around the outside, that center circle there, I'm going to use some of my my Stampin Up fine tip glue, and that dries clear. And it's nice for adding little shiny accents if you want like little dewdrops. And we'll sprinkle some of these on there. Like so. Shake them off. And that's ready. Then when this dries, it will be ready to put on a card. So I see I have time left, so let's do our leaves also. So I got some nice little ivy leaf dies. I found those on a website. It's AliExpress. And these are actually two different sets. This center one is different, but this is this piece here and this piece are a set. They come together and they're very inexpensive. And I need two like this and one like this. And I already have those die cut out because it's just a simple matter of die cutting these bits out here. And I cut those from Old Olive cardstock. And I'm going to take a bit of Always Artichoke ink and a sponge dauber. And I'm just going to add just a little color around the edges, just to give them a little something something extra. And then those will be ready to add to the card too. So be sure to watch the video to make the card. I think it came out very nice. And we just do those just like so. Just add a little color to them. And then I want just a little dimension to my leaves, so I'm just flipping up the corners, the little points of them, and that's ready to go on our card. And this video is finished. Oops, sorry, I bumped my camera. I'm still getting used to this new camera setup I have. I think it gives you a better picture. It's got a little better resolution than my old setup I had going, but I have to get used to it and not bump the camera or anything. So if you'd like to see more of my videos, and you do need to see that card making one, because this card's a winner, I think, then subscribe to my channel. Hit that subscribe button down below. If you have any questions or comments about what you've seen today, or about anything else, you can ask me what the weather's like in Florida in December. I don't care. Just leave a comment below. And that's about it for today. So y'all take care, stay safe, and happy stamping.